The Silent Symphony. Decoding body language across cultures in our globally connected world. Understanding body language is essential for effective communication. From subtle eye movements to grand gestures, nonverbal cues often speak louder than words. This nuanced form of expression plays a critical role in personal and professional interactions. While verbal communication remains vital, research shows that up to 93% of human interaction relies on nonverbal signals. These include facial expressions, posture, hand gestures, and even spatial positioning. Recognizing these cues can transform simple conversations into meaningful connections. Cross-cultural gestures. A global lexicon. Different cultures assign distinct meanings to common gestures. What seems friendly in one region might be offensive elsewhere. Understanding these nuances prevents misunderstandings during international business meetings or travel encounters. For instance, the OK sign made by forming a circle with thumb and index finger has varied interpretations worldwide. In Brazil, it means money; in Japan, it signifies zero. Such differences highlight the importance of cultural awareness when using hand gestures. Thumbs up. Universally positive in many Western countries but considered rude in parts of the Middle East and West Africa. V sign. Symbolizes victory in English-speaking nations yet represents insult in some Asian countries when used palm inward. Finger gun. Popular as a playful gesture in North America, but associated with threats in several European regions. Certain postures convey different messages depending on cultural context. Standing too close may be seen as aggressive in Northern Europe while being acceptable in Latin American societies. Maintaining appropriate physical distance is crucial for respectful communication across borders. A study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior found that individuals from collectivist cultures tend to stand closer together during conversations compared to those from individualistic backgrounds. This insight helps explain why Europeans might find South Americans' conversational proximity uncomfortable at first glance. Facial expressions. Universal emblems and cultural variations. Despite cultural diversity, certain facial expressions are universally recognized. Smiling, frowning, and raising eyebrows communicate basic emotions consistently across populations. However, there are notable exceptions worth noting. In some East Asian cultures, direct eye contact during conversation is perceived as disrespectful toward elders or superiors. Conversely, maintaining steady gaze is expected in Western workplaces to demonstrate confidence and engagement. Japanese culture provides an interesting example of micro-expressions. While smiling is common, people often display social smiles rather than genuine ones in formal settings. This distinction reflects societal expectations around emotional expression. The concept of masking emotions varies significantly among cultures. Scandinavian countries emphasize honesty and open displays of emotion, whereas Mediterranean cultures might prioritize politeness through controlled expressions. Research indicates that people from high-context cultures rely heavily on nonverbal cues to understand situations fully. For instance, Koreans use subtle head tilts and eyebrow raises to signal agreement without explicitly stating their position verbally. Posture and positioning. The unspoken rules. Physical positioning conveys subconscious messages about power dynamics and social hierarchy. Leaning forward suggests interest, while crossing arms might indicate defensiveness or discomfort. These postural indicators influence how others perceive us in various contexts. Business professionals should pay special attention to seating arrangements during negotiations. In many Arab countries, sitting with legs crossed is seen as relaxed and confident, unlike in Western offices where such behavior could imply arrogance. Proximity preferences vary greatly across cultures. Germans value personal space highly, keeping approximately 60 centimeters between themselves and others. By contrast, Italians prefer standing much closer, viewing greater distances as cold or unfriendly. Maintaining an upright posture communicates professionalism and self-assurance. Slouching or hunching over desks projects insecurity or disinterest, which can impact workplace relationships negatively. Studies show that mirroring someone's posture increases rapport and trust building. When meeting new clients or colleagues, subtly adopting similar postures fosters connection without appearing insincere. Eye contact, windows into soul or violations of etiquette. Eye contact serves dual purposes as both a signifier of respect and potential violation of norms. Its interpretation depends largely on cultural background and relationship status between communicators. In most African cultures, sustained eye contact during conversation demonstrates attentiveness and sincerity. However, in some Southeast Asian communities, prolonged gazing may come off as confrontational unless established through prior familiarity. Paying attention to pupil dilation offers additional insights. Research reveals that increased pupil size correlates with heightened interest or attraction, providing unconscious feedback about interpersonal chemistry. Blinking patterns also provide clues about engagement levels. Rapid blinking can indicate stress or dishonesty, though this needs careful interpretation since factors like fatigue affect blink rates naturally. During job interviews, maintaining moderate eye contact builds credibility without seeming overly intense. Striking the right balance showcases confidence while respecting cultural sensitivities regarding visual interaction. Gestural communication. Beyond hand movements, non-hand gestures play significant roles in conveying meaning. Head nods signify approval, while shaking heads denotes disagreement. These universal signs facilitate cross-cultural exchanges despite linguistic barriers. Sometimes entire body movement patterns carry specific implications. Nodding slowly while looking away might suggest uncertainty or hesitation, requiring further clarification before proceeding with decisions. Pointing fingers towards someone can be interpreted differently based on location. In some cultures, it's direct and assertive. In others, it appears impolite or threatening. Choosing alternative methods like gesturing with palms outward reduces chances of misinterpretation. Using open-handed gestures promotes inclusivity and approachability. Keeping hands visible instead of hiding them behind backs creates an impression of transparency and openness in discussions. Culturally sensitive individuals learn to adapt their gestural vocabulary according to interlocutors' backgrounds. Observing how others express ideas physically provides invaluable guidance for adjusting one's own style appropriately. Verbal and nonverbal harmony. Enhancing message clarity. When verbal statements align perfectly with nonverbal cues, message clarity improves dramatically. Misalignment between spoken words and body language creates confusion, weakening persuasive effectiveness considerably. Matching tone of voice with facial expressions strengthens authenticity. Speaking softly while displaying wide-eyed surprise reinforces the sincerity of a statement compared to mismatched reactions. Consistency across modalities builds trustworthiness perceptions. If someone claims enthusiasm about an idea but maintains flat facial expressions and closed-off body posture, listeners will likely question the genuineness of their commitment. Training oneself to maintain congruence requires conscious effort initially but becomes second nature over time. Practicing mirror exercises with friends helps develop better control over multi-channel messaging. Public speakers benefit immensely from synchronizing vocal delivery with expressive gestures. Combining clear articulation with animated hand motions enhances audience retention and comprehension levels. Effectively. Reading between the lines. Interpreting subtle cues. Successful communicators excel at detecting minute behavioral shifts indicating underlying thoughts or feelings. Noticing slight changes in breathing rate or muscle tension can reveal unspoken concerns before they're voiced aloud. Micro-expressions lasting only milliseconds offer glimpses into true emotions. Training oneself to recognize these fleeting moments allows for more accurate assessments of others' internal states. Observing foot placement provides useful information about comfort levels within social environments. Pointing feet towards or away from another person subconsciously communicates receptiveness or resistance respectively. Analyzing posture adjustments tells stories about shifting attitudes during dialogues. Sudden slumping after hearing news implies disappointment, while leaning in suggests growing interest in what's being discussed. Developing sensitivity to these subtleties transforms ordinary conversations into deeply insightful experiences capable of resolving conflicts proactively rather than reactively. Building bridges through cultural awareness. Cross-cultural competence involves not just recognizing differences but embracing them constructively. Approaching unfamiliar customs with curiosity rather than judgment facilitates deeper understanding and appreciation. Before traveling internationally, researching local body language norms proves beneficial. Familiarity with regional greetings, bowing practices, and handshake protocols ensures smoother initial impressions upon arrival. Language schools increasingly incorporate nonverbal training alongside traditional curriculum offerings. Students gain practical skills necessary for navigating diverse social landscapes confidently. Corporate trainings now emphasize global competencies, including reading and responding appropriately to multicultural body languages. Companies investing in such programs report improved team cohesion and client relations outcomes. Engaging with culturally diverse groups enriches perspectives by exposing participants to alternative ways of expressing thoughts and emotions. This exposure encourages more flexible approaches to interpersonal communications overall. Etiquette tips for international encounters. Adopting a few key strategies enhances success rates during cross-border interactions. Remaining observant and adaptable becomes paramount when dealing with varying expectations surrounding bodily conduct. Initiating conversations with neutral topics avoids triggering any unintentional offenses related to gestures or postures. Focusing on shared interests establishes safe ground for exploration of cultural distinctions later. Learning basic greeting rituals in target destinations contributes positively to first impressions formation processes. Simple actions like bowing correctly or offering the right type of handshake make substantial impacts. Being prepared to adjust behaviors based on situational demands demonstrates flexibility and respect towards differing traditions simultaneously. Showing willingness to accommodate preferred modes of communication fosters goodwill instantly. Keeping a notebook handy to jot down observations about observed body language patterns aids long-term learning efforts systematically. Regular review sessions help reinforce newly acquired knowledge permanently. Celebrating diversity through nonverbal expression. Recognizing the beauty inherent in diverse forms of expression expands horizons beyond conventional boundaries. Appreciating how different cultures utilize body language uniquely adds richness to global interactions. This journey towards enhanced intercultural fluency begins with small steps taken daily through mindful observation and intentional practice. Every encounter presents opportunities for growth and refinement along this path. By cultivating awareness of nonverbal codes governing human interactions, we empower ourselves to connect authentically regardless of geographical origins. Such abilities become particularly valuable in today's interconnected society filled with constant exchanges. Embracing this multidimensional aspect of communication ultimately leads to more fulfilling relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. It enables us to navigate complex social terrains gracefully and compassionately. The next time you engage in dialogue with someone from another background, remember that your body speaks volumes silently. Paying attention to these unspoken messages unlocks profound possibilities for meaningful connections across cultures. Conclusion: understanding body language across cultures equips individuals with powerful tools for successful interactions. Whether negotiating deals or building friendships, awareness of nonverbal cues enhances every exchange positively. As globalization continues shaping modern life, mastering this silent language becomes increasingly essential. With continued education and practice, anyone can refine their ability to interpret and respond appropriately to the rich tapestry of human expression worldwide.